Los Pumas squad for the 2022 July games, folks. Remember, these guys have got 3 games up against Scotland at home. Argentina are actually back home for the first time in what feels like forever. And they've got a new coach in Michael Cheika, so this is his first ever selection. And also keep in mind, there's an Argentinian 15, kind of like their A-team, playing over in Europe 2 games as well. So there's a lot of guys whose names aren't on this board who have been kind of relegated to the A-team, or the Argentina 15. So, we'll go through some of these guys and who's in, who's out. And you guys can let me know your thoughts on how Cheika's first selection has gone. I will say up front, I don't think, despite Ledesma, getting the first win over the All Blacks a couple of years ago, and despite the fact these guys were pretty much living in quarantine in hotels for so long, haven't played a home game in a very long time, I don't feel like Ledesma was getting the most out of this squad that he's got. There's a lot of game breakers, especially in the outside backs, that maybe weren't getting the love and opportunities they deserve. It was kind of a kick and tackle game from Ledesma's boys that it was kind of hard to watch at times. But anyway, we'll see how things go under Cheika. He's certainly not been afraid to bring back some experience. Speaking of experience, hookers, Creevy, Montoya and Ruiz. So Creevy is 37 years old. He's back. It looked like his days were done in the blue and white of Argentina, but he is back, and he's been in bloody good form for London Irish. He's scoring a bunch of tries. Him and Montoya are quite a duo. 85 caps, 74 caps, not bad. And Montoya, I rate him even higher than Creevy at the moment. He's been one of the best hookers in the world. He doesn't get the same attention as some of the guys from like the English-speaking countries, but Montoya's been phenomenal, and for Leicester, he's been really good as well. Just won the premiership with them. He's captain of the side. And then you got Ignacio Ruiz, who's like an uncapped 21-year-old alongside these 2 giants. So I'm not sure what the deal is with Facundo Bosch. Maybe with Creevy and Montoya. Montoya tended to get like 70-plus minutes with Argentina last year. Maybe with these 2 guys, Creevy and Montoya, getting the lion's share of the minutes, they want Bosch to get some proper minutes with the Argentinian 15. I'm not sure, but that's where he's at. He's going to be playing Georgia and Portugal with the Argentinian 15. Ruiz, be interested to see if he gets any minutes or if he's just there to learn from the 2 experienced guys. Props, Gallo, Kodela, Sclavi, Tetis Chaparro, Vivas. So only the 5 props. Some of the other guys like Pierito and Medrano are also with the Argentina 15, so maybe getting some experience there. You got a couple of guys in their 30s with a bunch of caps in Kodela and Tetis Chaparro, and then a little bit less experience with the other 3. Gallo has looked really good for Benetton and for his 3 caps of Argentina. Scored a great try against the Wallabies, if you remember rightly. As far as exciting props go, Gallo is kind of in that mold, whereas Kodela, the experienced man, is more like a steady as she goes there to prop the scrums kind of prop. I've had big expectations for Michael Vivas. He never really got signed from an overseas club, so he's still in the Juarez 15, which has been playing in the SLAR. I'm not sure if his development's been a bit stunted. I did like the look of him a couple of years ago, but he's still only 24, so he's still got some development to go. But how the Argentinian front row goes will be interesting. The locks, there's no real surprises. Alemanno, Crema, Lavanini, Polos, and Petty. It tends to be, if you can say Crema is a lock, then he may or may not start ahead of Lavanini depending on the discipline. Otherwise, Crema may be in the back row. But Lavanini and Petty is the traditional combo. Lavanini, the big, bulky unit, but like I said, with his discipline issues. And Petty, the absolute skills man. I don't want to forget Alemanno, because for Gloucester, he's been tearing it up with his work rate as well. So pretty steady as she goes with the locks. Like I said, main question is, where does Crema start? What position does he have? What number does he have on his back, really? But they're certainly not struggling for locks in Argentina. Likewise with back rowers, man. Bruni, Martin Gonzalez, Grondona, Isa, and Matera. Not bad players all round. If you got a back row of Crema, Isa, Matera, that's among the best back rows in the world for mine. But then I also don't want to sleep on guys like Bruni. Was doing really well when he got his few caps. I think it was last year. He was stealing the show at times. And Juan Martin Gonzalez has got a huge work rate. So Grondona's been doing all right this season for the Chiefs as well. So, Gonzalez is 21, Grondona's 23. The other guys are kind of all in their late 20s. So I reckon that's a good mix of youth and experience. Guys like Gorison is with the Argentinian 15, so yeah, there's also depth that's not even playing in the main Argentinian team as well. For the backs, scrum half is an interesting one because you've got Lautaro, Bazán, Vélez, who I've not heard of. He's uncapped, 26 years old, playing his rugby in Italy, but not for Zebra or Benetton. He's playing below that URC level. You've got Gonzalo García, who we saw a couple of times last year, usually off the bench, I think, and then Tomás Cubelli, who's, 81 caps. So you got two very inexperienced guys, one uncapped guy in Vélez, and then Garcia with not much game time to his name at international level, and then a hugely experienced guy in Cubelli. So I'm assuming Cubelli is going to be starting. Bertrando is with the Argentinian 15, so I'm assuming he's going to be starting for them. If Cheika is looking kind of to divide the minutes kind of that way rather than between two guys in this team, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's a really interesting call, but I can't see anyone but Cubelli getting the lion's share of the minutes in that department. Number 10 is also interesting because you got Carreras, Sanchez, and Urtepejeta. Sanchez, I would say, is the main guy, but then Urtepejeta, whose name keeps sticking in my tongue, he has gotten a recall at 36 years old, kind of like Creevy. You thought his days are done, surely. But now he's back in the frame. And remember, Carreras at Gloucester has been playing in the outside backs pretty much exclusively. He's not been playing 10, even though he played 10 for Argentina last year. He's not been doing the goal kicking when he played for Argentina last year as well. So, yeah, that's also a big question. I wouldn't mind seeing Carreras go back into the outside backs. But then at 33 and 36 with Sanchez and Urtepejeta, yeah, there's a little bit of future building that needs to go on there. But I guess Cheika's job is to win now because he's only got this year and next year to really plan for. So, as I said, it's another question mark. Midfielders, Chocobares is the one guy who I think was initially named but pulled out with injury. I think he did a ligament or something like that. So Moroni comes in for him, which is not a bad guy to bring in. I put the Leicester jersey there because him and Montoya both won the Premiership recently. De La Fuente is there, Orlando is there, and Cinti is there. Cinti is the youngest. The other guys are all in their 30s. Yeah, I mean, Orlando's a pretty flexible guy as well, to be fair. And they're all pretty consistent. De La Fuente, I do think, is kind of one of the underrated playmaking 12s in world rugby. But he is 31, so yeah, do you put Cinti in there? Cinti's got plenty of wheels. He's a pretty explosive guy. So, yeah, that also kind of remains a question mark. I guess they would have liked to give Chocobares some more time because he is one of the younger guys. But with him being out, the 31-year-old Moroni takes his place. But, yeah, I'm still at a loss as to which two will be Cheika's preferred combo. Maybe he's still figuring that out himself. Outside backs, Cordero, that's Santiago, Delguy, Imhoff, Malia, and Boffelli. These are the guys that I really want to see get a run because I feel like these guys, these are like Ferraris parked in the garage, man. Like these guys are all really explosive, fun to watch outside backs, but they didn't get a heck of a lot of game time, or they got game time, but they didn't get a lot of ball time under Ledesma's tactics of kind of kick and defend, you know what I mean? So let these guys run. Let's get them some ball. Like we saw the Jaguares a couple of years ago in Super Rugby make the final. They lost it, but they had a really great season. They also kicked a lot under Quesada, but they still managed to get these game breakers into the game, whereas it's not what we were seeing last year under Ledesma. So yeah, I just want these guys to get some ball in hand, please. I mean, some of the guys who also missed out, you got Facundo Cordero, Mateo Carreras, Sebastian Cancellieri, but all those guys are with the Argentinian 15. So we'll be getting some minutes against Georgia and Portugal rather than against Scotland. So yeah, that's the squad. Who does the goal kicking? Boffelli's been doing it for Edinburgh, but I would imagine if Sanchez plays, it's Sanchez. The only way I guess Boffelli takes the goal kicks is if he's A, starting, and B, long-range ones in place of Urtepejeta or Sanchez. But, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. Certainly a few guys out, but as I said, pretty much every name that's not here is with the Argentinian 15, barring Mojano. I'm not sure what's happening with Ramiro Mojano. He doesn't seem to be in either squad. I don't know if he's injured. or he's just not favoured. I don't think he's with Edinburgh next season, so I'm still waiting to see what he does. But him, Boffelli, and Delguy at one point had a fantastic kind of like back three working relationship. But yeah, we will see how things line up under Cheika. How are you guys' confidence levels at with the Pumas under Cheika? Do you think they're going to have a total shift in the way they play the game, or do you think it's going to be kind of slow incremental change? Remember, Cheika doesn't have that much time to implement a new game plan, but he has been with these boys under Ledesma for a while, so it's not like it's starting from scratch. And also 3 games against Scotland. Are you backing these guys to get 3 wins? 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, or do you think Scotland's going to be too tough? Remember, Scotland have left out guys like Finn Russell and Stuart Hogg and Chris Harris and whatnot. Some of the big names are missing from that Scotland squad. So, yeah, very much looking forward to it. Thank goodness we see Argentina playing in Argentina. It's been too long. But, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you guys again soon. See you later.